Alright, everybody, what is up? It's been a while, but I'm back. We're back. Um, Today's tier list is sort of a celebration of the fact that the Big Smash tournament is coming up this weekend, Genesis. If you guys aren't huge Smash fans, you should know that I am. I love watching Smash, especially Melee, definitely Ultimate too. So I'm making this particular tier list in celebration of that. And I felt it would be a good way to get back into things because it's been a while. Um, so, what I'm going to be doing today is you see the 9 characters before you. They are all Smash Brothers characters that also happen to be Pokemon. So, I'm going to be ranking them kind of based on how I feel about their implementations in Smash. It has nothing to do with their abilities in the Pokemon games. It's more so about how I feel they were implemented, what I think of their implementation, how accurate it is, if it strikes a balance of being good but not too good. So, like, you'll see in a second. And I would say points get taken away if a character is bad for reasons of like their implementation. So like if your frame data is bad, I'm not gonna hold that against you, but if your mechanics and how your character's designed is what makes you bad, it's gonna hurt. So this is not just looking at their ultimate design. It's looking at design across all the games or whatever games they were in. Um, so why don't we get started with Pikachu? So, alright. This is a pretty controversial one right off the bat. So Pikachu is definitely accurate. Um, Pikachu definitely, it's quick character, good combo game, good for terribly good frame data, all sorts of stuff. But I do like its implementation. They gave it a lot of classic moves like Thunder, Skull Bash, Thunder Shock, games that you moves that you would see in the original games, especially because that's when Pikachu was made as a Smash character. Um, I would say it would be in Above and Beyond if it wasn't the best character in 2 different Smash games, which I am a little personally biased and salty about that. Obviously, this list is going to be pretty subjective, but I would say Pikachu definitely needs to be would have needed to be toned down in 64 and in Ultimate. Um, I like its melee implementation the best because, like I said, it's a good-ish character, not broken at all for sure. Axe makes him look way easier than he actually is, of course. But again, quick character, light character. It really it makes sense for Pikachu. Jigglypuff. So the only reason I'm not going to put Jigglypuff in Above and Beyond is because it realistically would have never been in Smash if it weren't for Kirby. Originally, its design was super duper similar to Kirby's in 64, especially. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but like the only reason that Jigglypuff is in the game is because in 64 Kirby looked like Jigglypuff, so they said, "Oh, we can just put Jigglypuff in the game. We can just use Kirby's model and some of his animations and stuff, and we'll be good to go." But I feel like in every single Smash game that's come after, it's been at least rumored towards the beginning, "Oh, Jigglypuff's not going to be in this one. It's time for Jigglypuff to go." Yada yada yada. Jigglypuff's melee appearance definitely gives it some bonus points. It was super, super duper terrible in Brawl and Smash 4, but again, that was more because of the game around it than its like mechanics being poor or its design being poor. But in Melee, it's the perfect antithesis to like the rest of the characters in the game, which definitely gives it a place in the meta, which I like a lot. Um, it fits so well as like a yang to the rest of that game's ying. Um, but I would say if it was if it was not based on Kirby, which I mean, there's nothing it can do about it, but if it was not based on Kirby, but if it didn't only exist in Smash because Kirby was in Smash, I would put it higher. But that is the reason it's in. I really like its design though. I like the floatiness. Again, a very unique play style, especially in Melee, but really in all of the games it's in. Maybe besides 64 because I don't know, 64 is just a weird game. But yeah, Melee Jigglypuff kind of carries, but Ultimate Jigglypuff's cool too. It's fun. It's just fun to play. Maybe at top level it's not as fun because you have to play more defensive, but like playing with your friends, hitting some rests, super duper fun. Um, I think it's an interesting spin on some of the moves too. Like Pound, you wouldn't really expect to be how it is in Smash when you think about Pound in Pokemon, but it's a very like it's just very different than what you'd expect. Obviously, Rest is the same thing. I do wish Sing was better, more consistent in the games, but it's decent enough in Ultimate, so I guess it kind of gets a pass for that. But yeah, I like the implementations of most of the Pokemon moves that Jigglypuff has as well. All right. Yeah, so if you don't know anything about Smash, the problem with Pichu is there's a really good reason why it's only been in two Smash games, despite being in the second Smash game, having an opportunity to be in four different Smash games. It does damage to itself, and I know, it kind of makes sense on some level because it hasn't mastered the power of the electricity like Pikachu has, yada yada, whatever. The bottom line is there is no reason in either of the games that it's in to use it over Pikachu realistically. Like, yes, he's kind of faster and has a maybe a more simple, I don't even know if that's true, but maybe a more simple combo game. But like at the end of the day, if you can learn Pichu, you can definitely learn Pikachu, and Pikachu is just going to net you more success. Like it's just kind of how it is. That's how it is with a lot of the clone characters in the series, but the Pokemon version, Pikachu, just use Pikachu, realistically. Doing damage to yourself on every attack, well, not every attack, but like half of your attacks is just, it's such a huge hassle. Plus, Pichu is the lightest character in the game, so it died, like, it's funny. You stack up the damage that it does to itself and the fact that it's super light, it dies so early. So early. It's ridiculous. You feel like you get like I'm pretty sure that if you're Pichu playing a Bowser's forward smash in Ultimate, Bowser's forward smash, after you miss like a couple of forward airs or like a thunder or something, it might kill you off the side if you're near the ledge of the stage at like 0%. They they need to in the next game, if Pichu's still in the game, it needs a massive rework. I would rather see like Raichu. Like, why didn't they just put in Raichu? That would be so much cooler. Have like a stronger, heavier Pikachu that doesn't do damage to itself. Like, yeah, that would be cool. But no, we got Pichu instead. Mewtwo, on the other hand, I think Mewtwo's sick. I think obviously in Melee it's not great. In Smash 4, decent. In Ultimate, it's pretty good, decent. It's not like the best character in the world, but its implementation is super duper cool. I really like the double jump that he has. I like Shadow Ball being in his kit. I think it fits with him really well, even though he's not a ghost type. He's like kind of evil, and that's what it represents. Just kind of the psychic or not aura, but like the effects that he has on a lot of his moves. I really like them. I like that he uses his tail. I think it makes sense, even though it's not like super important in Pokemon from a design perspective. I think going with the tail as a bunch of his moves, it just kind of makes sense because it is a hindrance. He has a big hitbox despite being a pretty light character, relatively. but you can use the tail. I would say the only drawback to Mewtwo is how big his hitbox is, despite how light he is. But again, I like his kit a lot. He feels like a very, very unique character, kind of the same way that Jigglypuff does, but in a much different sense. Like, I can't think of a character in Melee, especially, or in Smash 4 or Ultimate that's like Mewtwo. Like he feels very unique. He has a lot of elements to him that I really enjoy. Yeah, that his down B. I think it's either disable or confusion. I think it's disable. I think it's like one of the cooler moves in the game. It's very, again, very unique. His reflector, which I don't know what it's actually called. I don't know if it's based on a Pokemon move or not. It kind of seems like it should be, but his reflector's cool. His smash attacks are really cool too. Like the shadowy aura mass that he just protrudes with his attacks. I really like it. I really like all of his kit. I think he's one of my favorite characters overall. Definitely my favorite Pokemon in Smash. Okay, Pokemon Trainer. So, Pokemon Trainer has two implementations in Brawl and in Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate's implementation is far and away so much better than Brawl's. If this was just based on Brawl, I would say redo it. If this was just based on Ultimate, I would say it's pretty cool and it's accurate. So I guess I'll meet in the middle, put it in meh, just because I am trying to include all of the interpretations. So in Brawl, the reason that Pokemon Trainer is so absolute trash is because the game kind of forces you to switch really rapidly between the three Pokemon because they get fatigued if they're out for too long. Like, it makes it impossible to solo main one of the characters, which, I mean, I don't know how I feel about doing that anyway, but I feel like it should be a viable strategy if you want it to be, and it's just not in Brawl. Not to say that Ivysaur isn't trash on its own, but like again, that Ivysaur being trash isn't because of the character's design, but the fatigue stuff and the fact that you can't switch in midair is what pulls Pokemon Trainer down in Brawl. But in Ultimate, they fixed both of those really big issues with Pokemon Trainer. And I think having three different characters in one is a cool idea. I like that it's, three stages of the original starter trio. I like a lot about it. I would say the only other thing in Ultimate that I think should have been different, and I think there should be different with Pyra and Mithra too, is taking up a move slot for the transformation. I feel like limits the character a little bit. Not to say that Pokemon Trainer's bad. Ivysaur is obviously really good. Charizard and Squirtle aren't bad either. Same thing with Pyra and Mithra. But I feel like if you did it like with Inkling, where if you shield and hold down or whatever it is to charge the ink, if they did that as the switch instead, I think I would bump it up a tier because I would like to see all three of the characters have a down B. I think it would be cool. I would like to see Charizard's Rock Smash come back. Yes, I'm selfish, but yeah, I think Pokemon Trainer's design could be a little bit better in Ultimate. Should have been a lot better in Brawl, but I do like its design in Ultimate a lot. But again, I'm trying to be even with the games that they're all in, and the Brawl implementation is garbage. All right, Lucario is also going to go into meh. So Lucario, I would say in Brawl is probably at its best because Rage wasn't a thing. So again, if you don't know anything about Smash, what happens in a match is your percent goes up, um, and as you're building percent, you're more likely to get knocked back, and if you get knocked off this whatever stage you're on, you die. But what happens with Lucario is when his percent goes up, he gets this thing called aura, which I think in and of itself is a fine idea. But so what aura does is it makes his moves stronger and have more knockback, I think. I don't know about the knock. I don't know exactly what it does, but it makes his moves a lot stronger the higher percent he's at. And then in Smash 4, they introduced a mechanic called Rage to the Smash Brothers series, which is pretty much exactly what Lucario's aura is, but Lucario's aura stacks with rage. So he gets like a double rage. So he's super duper dangerous when he's at a high percent. And he's not like light enough to where he's just dying constantly at a high percent. Like you have to hit him with a legitimate kill move. It's not like he's Bowser, but it's also not like he's Pichu, you know? Like you gotta get him. And it can be super terrifying if Lucario's at 150%, like I should just be able to kill him, but if I make a mistake, I might be dead. And I'm at like 30. So again, I don't like that aspect of his design. I think he could have used a little bit more of like he definitely feels like he should in some sense, like with his aura and stuff, but I just kind of I feel like he should have maybe been a little bit faster or maybe like a little bit stronger. I think he should be a little bit better. I don't know. I really like Lucario in the games. It's a really good Pokemon. So I'm a little upset that it's not as good in Smash as it is in Pokemon, I guess. And again, this is where my bias comes in. I think it could be a little bit better, but I think in order to do that, you got to take away the aura effect, or at least like diminish it a little bit, and then give him other attributes that would make him better, while keeping the design of making him feel like he feels like a fighting type with aura moves, which is exactly right. So maybe I should bump him up. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna bump him up because he feels super accurate to what he is in Pokemon. He's just not quite as good as maybe I want him to be, but he feels accurate. I just think he needs some tweaks. All right, so Charizard, obviously, this is just going to be based on Smash 4 because that's when he was a standalone character. That was the only game. Again, I think it's pretty accurate. It's nothing too crazy. But again, it feels like you're playing as Charizard. He has an extra jump. He's got wings. Makes sense. He uses Flare Blitz. He's really strong. Like, yeah, that makes sense too. Rock Smash. I miss you, but like, it felt very Charizardy in Smash 4 for sure. Like his move set. And I would say the same about Ultimate and Brawl too. But again, I'm not really looking at them because he wasn't a standalone character in those games. Yes, that's just my personal criteria. But yeah, I feel like Charizard is definitely accurate. There's not that much to say about it, honestly. He feels like a fire dragon. He has all the right stuff. I don't know. That's it. Greninja. I'm gonna put it in meh. I so here's the thing. Greninja is another Pokemon that does feel accurate to the series. He's fast. He's like a ninja. Um, but he feels when I play as him and I play as Sheik, it feels a little bit too similar. And the only reason that is a negative for Greninja is that like I think he could have been made a little bit differently. I think they could have given him a couple of different moves. Like Water Shuriken is a great move to include in his kit, but like Substitute, yeah, I'm sure his competitive move sets have him use Substitute all the time. I don't know. It's hard to describe for this one, and I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with this placing because Greninja is literally the most popular Pokemon of all time when they did the poll. Um, I don't know. Something just doesn't quite feel right, and he feels a little bit too much like Sheik. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. It just something doesn't quite feel right. Maybe I feel like he needs like more of an evilness to him because he's a dark type. Maybe I feel like he needs to have a little bit better of an implementation. Like, I don't know. I wish I had a better explanation, but I really don't. I'm drawing a blank. All right. Anyway, you can sound off in the comments on how you think that Greninja should be above and beyond whatever you want to do. It's an opinion list, and I don't love Greninja's implementation. Right, Incineroar, I'm gonna put at the top. I don't know why his icon is different from the other ones, but I think they did a really, really good job of making Incineroar feel like a like a wrestler. Like he feels so his moves are super flashy, they're accurate to the series. He feels he's very like high risk, high reward with some of his options. Um, I would say his side B, having him have such a long range on a command grab, maybe tone the range down a little bit, but he can be super tilting to play against, but I think that works well for him because he doesn't have to be the best character. But I think what I like about him is that how it is to play against him like kind of matches with his personality because you think you have him beat and then all of a sudden you hit him with a strong attack but he counters it with rage, he gets you with the side B, the strong hit, you're dead at 20%. It's just like, oh god damn it, he got me. And he's smiling and he's doing the celebrations right after the move because it's like part of his animations. I think his animations are what put him in the top tier for this list. If you go and play Ultimate and play as Incineroar and hit some of his moves, he'll like do a little celebration or something like that after a lot of his moves, and I really like that a lot. Again, he feels super accurate to the series. He feels like a wrestler, which is what he's supposed to be. And granted, Greninja does feel like a ninja. Again, there's just something about Greninja and Incineroar where I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it is the animations. Maybe Greninjas feel more basic, whereas Incineroars feel super expressive. But I feel like they could be flipped depending on how the implementation went. Because like you could have had Greninja like feel as good as Incineroar does, and like be as appealing as Incineroar was for my tastes, and have Incineroar be in the opposite camp. Like it could have happened, whatever. Like in a different way, I guess is what I want to say. Yeah, okay. So this list, not a long video. Very very subjective, especially with Greninja. I feel like I want to move it up, but I also am just like, no, I think it's in the right place. Pokemon Trainer again, it is wildly different between its two appearances. Pichu, come on, guys, and then the rest of them are again, except for Mewtwo, who like kind of has a similar vibe, less in the animations and more in just kind of the feel of the character and how the character plays. And then the rest in the pretty cool accurate tier just kind of feel like they're accurate to what the series is in Pokemon, and they have just like solid implementations all around. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, I'll be more consistent, but I'm not going to make any promises. I'm a busy man. Um, But yeah, I'm grateful for everybody watching. If you wanted to like, if you want to subscribe, doesn't hurt anybody. But yeah, thank you so much and have a great day.